Hello everyone, this is Lollipop, welcome to a new world record. And oh my god, this run is actually insane. The ending of it, you're just gonna have to wait to see, but it gets crazy. Now, yeah, this is a Sorceress run, 100% Act1, as always. This is my main category I do, and as you just saw, I completely skipped talking to the man, because all that he does is give me the stuff that gives me the fireball spell. And what I'm actually gonna do is just go naked using spark. So here I get my spark, and you actually don't need to have a caster weapon to cast spells, so I can just skip the 5 seconds or whatever it is animation by just not talking to him and then only using spark to kill the boss, which is actually not slower at all, because spark is actually really good against this because it bounces off the wall. And yeah, so the main strategy here is gonna be to just get him or bait him into running against a wall and then cast spark in a way that it bounces back into him, of course. And I mean, that's how the skill is supposed to be used. And yeah, I didn't do the commentary for the Witch World record. I'm doing it here for two main reasons. The first one is because for some reason the gameplay audio didn't record, and I don't want to have a mute video, you know, that's boring as hell to watch. And also the strategy that we use on Witch and Sorceress is kind of different compared to the one that we use on Huntress or whatever other class, because these classes have no dexterity and no strength inherently, just from being these classes, so it's a bit different. And by the way, this loot from Miller is absolutely insane. We just got the spear and the shield. Now normally you'd have to talk to Renly right here, sell everything you have, sell your kidneys, and hope that you can buy at least a spear. Now what a spear does is that it allows you to use disengage from level 1. Now normally here you're gonna have no DPS against bosses, right? Because spark alone is just not enough against the early game. So normally you would go to the right, grab the extra gem, get ice bomb and use ice bomb, right, to help your DPS. However, since I already got such an amazing loot, I just have a spear with 2 to 5 extra physical damage and stuff, I don't really need to get the extra DPS, so I'm just gonna kill her normally, just using my spear. And you can see here the DPS is actually quite good. Now the whole problem here is these wolves. They're extremely annoying when you don't have frostbomb, but you can actually kill them by luring them into the spikes that the boss creates, and that's actually a super cool mechanic that I only recently knew about running Sorceress. So yeah, I'm just poking the boss with a stick until she dies, and here I get unlucky. She doesn't do the spike attack. Now she's 0 HP, but I can't hit her because the wolves are in the way. And looking back, I could have probably used disengage, right, to get behind her and poke her once more, but I just didn't think of it at the moment. This is actually the first time that I did this without ice bomb, because I never got such a good loot from the Miller. Now here we're entering the Grelwood, only 10 seconds behind pace. And yeah, now this zone is where everything gets decided, so we have to kill the Grelwood Witch, which is right here. So I reset a checkpoint to reset the mobs around, because I mean, there were no mobs around, but trust me, if you start the boss battle without resetting a checkpoint, as soon as you walk here where I am right now, you're gonna lure 50 wolves out of nowhere into the fight. So it's better to always, yeah, kind of like that. So it's better to always reset a checkpoint, in my opinion, because yeah, you get less monsters around, Now with spear you can just throw the spear at her, With Ice Bomb it's kind of weird. You actually want to like be at melee range so that she doesn't teleport outside of the Ice Bomb if you do use that. But right here I'm just killing her with a spear. I know how much damage I can afford to tank. I know how much damage I can, you know, recover with my life flask and like fast enough. So yeah, you just learn that fight. It's such a horrible fight. She's a horrible boss, probably the worst boss in Act 1, like by far. Now here we are just gonna go to the tree, and then we're gonna go back, and I'm so happy that they finally added a checkpoint at the hooded one tree just so I can do this. And the way that they spawn in the Grelwood for Sorceress, because if you didn't know, the layouts are different for every class, it's really easy. It's just like this diagonal square where there's the hut at the left, and then there's the Grim Tangle and the tree like diagonal to it, right? So I can basically do this L shape, and then the red veil is just in this like diagonal direction from the upper point of interest, right? So like the Grim Tangle, you can see the Grim Tangle. Now you can see the Bramblegast Arena, and if you draw like a line between them, you can get to the red veil 100% of the time. Now, yeah, this is a really fast red veil enter. I can't speak today. 6 minutes. It would have been like 5:30, right, if I had a better way to killing the witch, but I don't, sadly. This is like how Sorceress is. Most of my runs I was getting 7 minutes enter, so this is actually really good. Yeah, here I get level 3. I finally get the 5 extra strength, which makes using disengage actually good, right? Like I mean, except that mob, I don't know how they survived, but I'm one-shotting every single monster here, pretty much. Now, here is where I recognize this layout. It's the one where it's like really long, like blood river, I guess, and yeah, this is one of the longer ones, sadly, but I mean, at least I know how to get to the obelisk really well. So there's one like here in the middle, and then the other one is just gonna be a bit further down. Now, XP wise, the only goal we have is to be level 6 before Asenia. So this means getting to like 5.5 instead of the Grim Tangle, ideally, and then like getting the other 50% of your level either in Cemetery or inside the Asenia's tomb before the boss. And I usually, like, if I get a perfect red veil read, which I think I do get here, you usually are level 4.5 at most. So you're gonna be a bit lacking XP wise sometimes, which is horrible, because if you get to Asenia and you're not level 6 yet, it sucks, because you have to like go back, kill monsters, and you waste a lot of time. Here I see that temporal bubble rare, I'm just noping the fuck out of that. I just reset a checkpoint. And by the way, when you activate the obelisk, the checkpoint automatically gets triggered for you, so you don't have to like walk to the checkpoint to like reset a checkpoint. Now here, if I had Frostbomb, I would be casting it in between the disengage for a bit of extra damage, but it's not really that important, right? And you actually have to be quite careful with a couple of his attacks, because the way disengage works, it doesn't like remove your hitbox. So if you get like, if you disengage into the spikes that fall like these exact ones, you can actually get one shot. And the same thing when he does the attack where he spawns out of monsters. I got one shot by just disengaging into the lightning accidentally, right? And it's actually quite weird to aim this kill, because you can't see my cursor because I fucked up my OBS, but you have to aim in the opposite direction. Now, yeah, this is a 9-minute kill, which is not the best, you know, but it's pretty good, like it's enough. And for the goal that I was going for sub 35. Here I am looking for strength, like random gear with strength, and that's honestly enough, because I actually have 7 dexterity on my shield that translates to 5 strength, because The thing with Witch and Sorceress is you don't have either strength or dexterity when you start. You only have like a lot of intelligence. So to use Rake, which is the skill that we're gonna be using at level 6, you need 16 dexterity. This means that if you don't have any gear with dexterity, you're gonna have to spend 2 points in your tree for dexterity, which of course means that you're gonna have 10 less strength, which sucks because it's like half your damage gone. But here I get extremely lucky with my loot. I get those dexterity gloves and I also have the dexterity shield. This puts me at 20 dexterity, if I'm not wrong, and that means that, yeah, 20 dexterity, which means that I don't have to spend any points into strength. Now here I think I screw up this layout. I thought it was the other one, like the S-shape one, but here I get into a dead end, and yeah, I just completely misread it, to be fair. Probably wasted like 30 seconds on it. Yeah, here there's another dead end. I hate that, but yeah, I'm still washed. I'm still like relearning every single red veil and grim tangle layout. I don't even know why I'm exploring to the right here. Like, yeah, this is just skill issue. I think I lost like 30 seconds here, but it's okay. I got a little bit more XP and I understood what layout it is at this point, so it's fine. It's a really easy layout. You just go to the left and then a bit to the down and you get to the cemetery. It's actually a really pretty good pace because of my like the speed of the early game, right? So it's not that terrible. Yeah, here's the cemetery. I am like level 5 almost, so I need to get another entire level before I kill Asinia. Now cemetery is where most of the runs end. I mean, except the early game, right? But here I reset a lot of runs because you're basically praying that you get both the Draven and the Asinia tomb really early, and it's 100% RNG. There's like nothing you can do to like read this layout. You're just running a loop and hoping that you get lucky. So you can like lose more than a minute here just walking around and being unlucky and not finding the second tomb, and it sucks. You just have to reset the run. Here it's definitely not the best cemetery, but I see the like both tombs pretty early. Like, yeah, like it's good enough. At 12:30 first tomb enter is really good. It's like my fastest pace, I think, on Sorceress. And like in general, running Sorceress sucked. Like on Witch, it took me like 4 attempts, right, to get the 33-minute run, like the sub 34. On Sorceress, this is like my 20th attempt or something crazy, because it just has a terrible early game, and most of my Lachlann kills were around 18:30 to 19 minutes, and it's just not enough to get a sub 35 unless you get like extremely lucky on Freythorn. But yeah, I don't get lucky on Freythorn ever. Now here I finally get Rake. I just slot it in and I put my support gem, and here is where I start to be like zoom. And I think I read this layout amazingly. Yeah, like there's the boss, like Asinia is right there, so a bit to the left, and yep, Asinia boss arena enter. Yeah, I stumble a bit there on like a rock in the ground, but sub 14 Asinia enter is great. And here I get +1 to melee skills on my spear, which sucks because it like makes my mana cost be from 7 to 8, and you might be thinking that doesn't really matter, it's just 1 mana, but this is an insanely mana starved build when you're like spamming your Rake in the zones to go fast, and that 1 mana is gonna cause a lot of problems, I think, in the rest of the run, especially if you don't get a greater mana flask. Like in Manor ramparts, it's gonna suck. So Really fast Asigna kill, of course, because we have the extra strength from having dexterity on the gear. And we are going into Draven. Here I see Forgotten Reaches at the top, which means I don't have to worry with cursed layouts where, yeah, this zone is just terrible. And here I see the middle tile, so I know that the arena is gonna be in this direction. Here I look through the wall and I see the arena, right, in the minimap. So here, since there's no entrance here, I know that it's gonna be like a loop around thing on the edge of the zone. And yeah, here it is. Perfect read. I'm extremely happy with this. I've been trying really hard to learn how to run Draven really fast, but many times the area is just fucked up, you know? You get the Forgotten Reaches instead of the arena. Now this fight can actually be really scary. This attack, if you don't dodge, it one-shots you and you're just dead. Now he does this really annoying thing where he called for Asigna when he's about to get stunned, so you don't have to... So like you have to avoid the Asigna circles on the ground when a Draven does nothing, which sucks, right? But I mean, what I am trying to do is to leave him with like 1% of the bar of the stun, then do the Asigna circles and then hit him once more so that I can stun him like after Asigna is done doing that shit. And that's a misplay by me by not doing that this run, but it doesn't really matter because my damage is just insane, right? So it's okay. Here Lachlann can be quite dangerous. I only have 180 life, and if he like punches me twice and then does the slam attack, I'm just dead if I don't dodge it. I don't know why he's shocked, by the way, like that's 20% more damage for me. So I'm happy about that. Here I'm like organizing my inventory, and this is by far my fastest ever Lachlann pace that I've been on in these runs. And it's crazy because I'm doing that on a Sorceress, which is by far the slowest class for this strategy, right? So yeah, that's cool. Here I instantly find Freythorn, which is nice. And yeah, you can see like the speed is just crazy, and I forget sometimes to use my mana flask, so I just get stuck. Yeah, it's actually a really annoying way to move. Like if you get a atom of a rock on the ground, then your character stops and you have to like roll to get out of it, and it's super annoying, but I'm getting slowly like better at it. I've started integrating disengage. Like when you get stuck on a group of mobs, you can just disengage the other way and keep going. Here I get a life flask. It's not mandatory, but it's definitely really nice to have, especially in the Manor and against gear. Yeah, here I'm just looking for Crobble. Really easy layout to read. You just run around the edge until you find everything you need, right? As for XP goals, there's really no XP goal at this point. Like you just run around and you have way more damage than you need to kill everything. So since you're running around using an attack, you're gonna be killing monsters without even trying to, and that means you're gonna level up like accidentally per se. Now here I get into the boss, and yeah, this passive tree is just beautiful. It's only strength, and here I did that 12 to strength helmet that requires level 11 to wear, so that's my XP goal basically, to get level 11 before King of the Mists. And yeah, here I'm just holding down left click. This is such a easy battle. I actually... Oh yeah, the reason why I'm shocking him is because I have some flat lightning on the gloves. That's actually like crazy good. It's like 20% more damage for free, right? Yeah, that's huge. Now it's worth it to like attack him while he's on the animation phase, because you actually lower his health by quite a bit, and it saves you like 1 to 2 seconds. Yeah, he is just dead. I think it's gonna be like a sub 20 farmlands enter, which is amazing. Yeah, this is just an amazing pace all around. Of course, it's not gonna be sub 30. That's just impossible. You need to get like a 1430 Lachlann kill or something to get that, but yeah, no. This zone is really easy. Now, unlike Huntress, the exit to the Ogham village cannot be northwest. So this leaves... Wait, I forgot my cardinal directions. This leaves southwest and southeast, the only two different possibilities that it can be, right? And that's much easier, because if I check right now, I always check southwest first. If there's like a wall really early, that means that it's not here, so it's always gonna be southeast. Yeah, now this actually tricks me because there's the wall, however it's extremely far, so I'm like checking if I see the crop circle, because if the crop circle is here, it means that the exit is here, but there's none. So here I already know that it's gonna be a really weird southeast layout, so I just suck it up. I have to waste time because of the dogshit layout. Now here's crop circle, of course, and yeah, it's easy from here. This zone is really easy. The only real thing you have to worry about are the archers with the crossbow, because when they do the charge shot, it actually hurts a lot for some reason. I think it's so overtuned. You can get like one tapped if you get unlucky, and you get hit by like 4 at the same time. As for optimizations, I'm always trying to allocate my passive points while I'm loading into a zone, so I don't have to do it normally, which wastes time. However, it's really hard when you have the passive points that are, you have to click twice, right? You have to click it and then you have to click strength. So many times I just fail to do it correctly and I waste time. I'll get better at it. Here's Freythorn, and you can see what I mean. I think I allocate 2. Yeah, like 1 and then the big one, which is me, 5 strength. Now here I'm allocating the other 3 that I had, right? Now Freythorn, as I said in my Huntress world record, is just completely RNG. So this is the second spot where you reset the most, right? If you get just unlucky, you get like a 5-minute Freythorn and the entire run is dead. So you just have to get lucky, I guess. Also, if you find a lot of the rituals quickly and it takes you 4 years to find the boss arena or like another ritual, you're gonna be with no mana flasks left because you can't find a checkpoint, and you're gonna be stuck running, and that makes this area so much more cancer to like do. And yeah, here is actually where you get a lot of your XP of the run. You get like at least 2 levels, maybe even 3, because you get inside here and you're really under leveled. You're like a level 8 or level 9, so you easily get up to level 11 here every time. Yeah, damage wise, of course, we don't have a super gem because we didn't get one, and I didn't find the Druidic ritual in the hunting grounds. However, we have so much extra strength, like 15 extra strength compared to normal, or even more when we get the 12 strength hat equipped, that we just don't care about the super gem. We have more than enough damage to destroy every boss, and the super gem doesn't really change that much, right? So yeah, here I found the 3rd ritual. However, I still haven't found the boss arena, which means I'm stuck hoping that I get it soon. And I'm level 10 and 2/3, which means that I really need to kill more monsters here so I can get my helmet before the King of the Mists, to just make the fight go a bit quicker. And that fight is like literally free. There's nothing you have to worry about. You just hold down left click and there's nothing he can do to like kill you. Maybe when there's like the red puddle on the ground, it's just, yeah, it's just like a free fight, to be fair. Now, yeah, I'm checking my level. I see that I need a little bit more just to equip my helmet, so I'm hoping that these monsters are enough to get it. Wait, are they? I actually don't remember. That's really close. Damn, it's not. So I actually can't wear my helmet for this fight, that sucks. And also my life flask is already at half, which can be annoying if a lot of the red puddles spawn below. Like, yeah, exactly like here. And I get stuck inside the cage while on the puddle. That's just so unlucky. I'm just moving away so that the puddle disappears from there. And finally it does, so we should be good. And he just dies extremely quickly. This boss has like no HP against this build. Like, I don't know if he's like really vulnerable to physical damage or something, but he dies so fast. It's crazy. Now I just TP and I grab the skull, and we are instantly off to get the Ogham village. Here I put my greater life flask before, so I can use the well in town, right? And we actually don't use the spirit gem. I mean, you could use Wind Dancer in this scenario because we have 20 dexterity, but like, there's no point, right? We are already destroying every single mob. We are not like gonna die. So yeah, this zone is like free. You just go to the left and then up and you find the boss. Now here I go to the up. I can't speak. I go up too early and you're gonna see, oh, actually I don't. Never mind, this is like a perfect read. Holy. Yeah, here I can finally equip my new helmet. That's actually like 60 life that it gives me. That's crazy. Yeah, and this boss is like free. You just hold down left click and you tank everything. You only have to be careful about like one attack, which is this one. You just dash to the side and you dodge it. It's really easy. And here I'm waiting for the support gem actually, because I haven't got one yet. But if I already had it, then I would just climb up the ladder, ignore his loot completely and just go, you know. Yeah, I take off the support gem, as I said, because of mana problems. You really want to reduce the mana that you're spending for each attack, or this zone specifically is gonna be hell. Like, you're gonna be stuck at the middle of the zone with no mana. So you have to like manage it really well. You have to try avoid getting stuck into enemies, because then you're spending extra mana on them. And here I just get the fucking mana siphon mob, of course. Yeah, stuff happens, right? Now you just go straight to the Manor. Here this is already a great base. Here I get a greater mana, which means that I don't have to worry about mana anymore once I'm inside the Manor. And I do a really good job at managing my mana in here, so I actually have mana to spare when I enter like the zone, right? So yeah, 1830 enter. This is amazing pace. This is definitely sub 35, unless you like die at gear or something. You just want to not mess it up. And holy, this gets extremely tense at the end, you're gonna see. And I mean, not much to talk about here. This layout is always pretty much the same. Like, you just get Candlemas and then you go to the right to gear. And you can get lost because Candlemas can spawn very weirdly sometimes. Sometimes it spawns like before the bridge and you just don't realize until it's too late and you waste like 1 minute looking for it. And yeah, that sucks when it happens. Yeah, but other than that, really easy boss fight. Actually, be careful of that swipe that he just did. It does like 300 damage or something if you don't have fire res. So unless you have crazy good HP like I do right here, it can one-shot you. I've gotten one-shotted by it before and lost a few rounds. Yeah, here I'm just like walking, and if you guys want, I can make a tutorial for this strategy. But I was thinking to get world record on all classes, like all 7 classes using this before making any tutorials, just so I have a little bit more experience with it, and maybe I have some more tips to give y'all. Yeah, here I get the door, which is unlucky, but I find the exit tile right here straight down, and there's not really a risk, like you can't really die in the manor itself. You can actually die to gear if you get destroyed by the lasers. Foreshadowing. So yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I am sorry that the gameplay audio didn't record. It's annoying. You can't even see my cursor because I had the game capture, like window capture on, and for some reason on Mac OS you can't record your cursor using that. Yeah, now the gear fight usually takes like 2 minutes, maybe like 1:30 if you manage to skip the ad phase, which is ultimately our goal. But yeah, I wish I did, because it would have been a 32-minute run. Yeah, like he's already dead. Now we just wait for him to stop like yapping to his wife, I guess. Really easy fight, like other than the Solstice of Pain attack. I'm probably gonna go for either Ranger or Mercenary next using this strategy. And my ultimate goal is probably gonna be getting a sub 30 on like any class. Maybe it's Warrior, maybe it's Hunter and Huntress, whatever it is, right? But I think I really wanna get the sub 30. Now this is the dangerous attack. You can get like unlucky and 2 of them can spawn on top of you and you just die. It is what it is. Now here he does the ad phase, which is really unlucky. He's almost dead. So if he had done any other attack other than that, he would have been stunned and I would have killed him before this. It would have been a great time, would have been sub 33, you know. But it's okay, this is still like completely fine. Yeah, Sorceress, this was just an awful experience. It actually made me want to stop running Sorceress and run something else. And now here, look at what happens. I'm like, I have to go in, and he dies as I die. Now here it says that I died once, right? But technically I died after the boss, which would mean that this run is deathless. I'm gonna have to ask the speedrun.com moderators for this, but this was a pretty nice run. I'm really happy about it. There's not many fuck ups that I did, maybe Grim Tangle, and I think that's it. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and stay tuned. Subscribe for new world records coming almost daily, and have a nice rest of your day.